Okay, good morning, physics. Hope you're having a good day. So, first problem here in this set is 79. You've got a car moving 65 kilometers east, so east would be to the right, and then 45 kilometers due west. Now, what do you know about east and west? They are what to each other? Opposite is the word you should be thinking of. So, do you need to use the Pythagorean theorem to solve this problem? No, because it looks like this. So what are you going to do? That's right. You're going to subtract. Pretty straightforward. The answer is 20. All right, for 80, we're looking at these. So a little hint, these are 45-degree angles. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. So when you're finding the components, just keep that in mind. So for E, let's take E. And it looks like this. So that's 45 degrees. We have to figure out the horizontal and vertical. So we're given the hypotenuse, we're given the angle. Our unknown are the legs or the components of the triangle. All right, these things that I have with dash marks here. The equation, well, it's SOHCAHTOA, and you just have to choose the correct part. So for the x part, we are adjacent to the angle. We're touching it. So we use CH, because we also know the hypotenuse. So we use CH. Cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse, just like that. And we're going to plug in. Theta is 45 degrees. Adjacent, we don't know. Hypotenuse is 5.0. Moving over here, I just rearranged and got adjacent all by itself because that's the thing we're solving for. Basically, I multiplied both sides by 5.0. And now figuring out cosine of 45, which is 0.7071, ... And then that works out to be 3.5 to 2 sig figs. So that's the length of the adjacent leg of this triangle, this part. You have to do the wide part. Show your work. And here's a little hint. Sine of 45 and cosine of 45 actually have the same value, and so the answer is going to be the same for the y part. You have to do F, which is this one, and A, which is that one. All right, those ones should be pretty straightforward. Now that you know how to do this. Last thing, 87 is this boat that gets blown 100 kilometers east and was originally 500 kilometers north of its port. Did I read that right? Yeah. Okay. So, it's pretty easy to figure out what this distance is right here. What's not so easy is figuring out the angle. And so the question is this the angle you need to figure out? Is this the angle you need to figure out? Which angle do you need to figure out? I'm going to leave that to you to kind of pour over a little bit and tell you again that you should look at example 2. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Going back. Might be example 1. So example 2, which looks like this, and you have to figure out the angle using the inverse tangent. And even better is just to go right here and look at the problem solving strategies on page 123. So this tells you how to figure out your answer when you need to know parts of the triangle and when you need to figure out the angle. So just keep in mind, this angle is the inverse tangent, okay? So, there you go. So think about that. To figure out the inverse tangent, so I'll just finish up giving you that hint now. The tangent is the opposite over the adjacent. So opposite would be here, 100. Adjacent would be here if we were looking at this angle. If we were looking at this angle here, this would be the opposite, and this would be the adjacent. So, and that should kind of make sense because these two angles, this one and this one, add up to make 90. So they kind of have a relationship. Anyway, you can use either one. just have to use it correctly, and then you have to write your answer in some kind of format, such as such and such degrees north of east, or such and such degrees east of north. All right, you choose how to do that. You think about how to do that. And that's it. All right, good luck.